Hello everyone. I'm Mary from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach you how to make a cheerful cup cozy. For this electronic tutorial, you can search for susodiy.com on the website to view it. Let's look at the finished product. The cup sleeve consists of bottom, body, face, lace trim, hands, feet, buttons, facial features, and straps. First, let's learn the crocheting method for the cup bottom. Now, let's review the chart. In the chart, our plus number indicates the round number. The increases and decreases explanation column shows the instructions for increasing or decreasing stitches, also the stitches used when working on this round. The total stitches column indicates the total number of stitches. After completing the entire round, the stitches used for the cup bottom include X single crochet, VSC 2-in-1, chain, and slip stitch. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will use thick yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, let's start. The chart shows Mr., which means starting with an adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch the point where the loops overlap and take it out. Then, wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loops to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Move the hook between these 2 points. Insert it into the loops. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There is now 1 loop on the hook. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain is completed. Pull tight. The magic ring is now completed. Next, we'll work our 1. Our 1 consists of 7 X. The number before the X indicates how many single crochets you need to make. Here it means to work 7 single crochets into the magic ring. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This beginning chain is not specified in the chart, but when crocheting in rounds, you need to make a beginning chain at the start of each round, which does not count as a stitch. Then start working single crochets. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again. And draw through once. And 1 single crochet is completed. There are 2 strands of yarn that make up the V in the upper right. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert into the start ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. And draw through the 2 loops on hook. The second single crochet is now completed. You need to crochet a total of 7 single crochets in this round. Continue to complete the remaining single crochets. The stitch pattern corresponding to the chart is now completed. Enlarge the loop. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. First, give a gentle tug on the starting tail. One of the loops will be loose. Tighten the loose loop. There is 1 loop left. Pull the yarn tail tight directly. This will close the loop. Next, slip stitch into the first single crochet of this round. Let's locate the first stitch. Count back from the stitch on the right side of the hook. Look for the V-shaped braid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the first stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch completed. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch. You need to pull it tight. The slip stitch is not indicated in the chart. When crocheting in rounds, always finish by joining with a slip stitch and tighten it. This way, R1 is completed. Move on to crochet R2. R2 is 7V. The number before the V indicates how many SC2 in 1 to make in a row. How many SC2 in 1 to make in a row? Here it means to work 7 SC2 in 1 consecutively. Make 1 beginning chain. Let me emphasize again. At the beginning of each round, you need to start with a beginning chain. I won't repeat this for subsequent rounds. Work 1 SC2 in 1 in the first stitch of the previous round. That is, at the insertion point of the slip stitch. Work 2 single crochets here. As you crochet, place the starting tail above the hook. Weave in the tail as you go along. 1 stitch. Insert into the same stitch and work a single crochet. Again, place the yarn tail above the hook. The second stitch. The SC2 in 1 is now complete. Continue to work SC2 in 1 on the left side stitches. Don't forget to weave in the tail. The second SC2 in 1 is completed. In this round, you need to work a total of 7 SC2 in 1. For the remaining 5, all are worked using the method of 2 single crochets in each stitch. After completing the last SC2 in 1, check the stitch count. There should be a total of 14 stitches in this round. The total number of stitches for each round is indicated in the corresponding chart. This will not be mentioned again going forward. Next, slip stitch in the first stitch. Be sure to pay attention. At the end of each round, always slip stitch in the first stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. And pull through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. Pull tight. The extra yarn tail from the starting ring can be cut off directly. This completes our 2. Continue with our 3. Our 3 is V, X, times 7. The parentheses indicate a group. Times number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. Start with a chain as the beginning chain. Make a SC2 in 1 first. Then make a single crochet. The V, X group is now completed. Let me demonstrate it again. One SC2 in 1. Then make 1 more single crochet. Repeat the V, X group 7 times in this round. For the remaining 5, follow the pattern of 1 SC2 in 1 and 1 single crochet. Finally, slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Our 3 is now completed. Here, you increase every other stitch. You can take a look. The right side texture is clear. The wrong side texture is blurry. From now on, all the work will be on the right side. Now we move on to our 4. Start with 1 single crochet. Then make 1 SC2 in 1. Follow up with another single crochet. That completes the X, V, X pattern. Let me demonstrate it one more time. Start with 1 single crochet. Then make 1 SC2 in 1. Continue with 1 more single crochet. This is the second time. Follow the previous method and continue crocheting. After completing all stitches, slip stitch. Pull tight. R4 is now completed. Here, you increase every second stitch. Now move on to R5. Start with 3 single crochets. Then work 1 SC2 in 1. X, V is now completed. Pay attention. The increase placement should follow the stitch pattern order in the chart. Do not adjust it randomly. Follow the previous method and continue crocheting. After completing all stitches, slip stitch. Pull tight. R5 is now completed. Here, you increase every third stitch. Let's take a look. A bump on the right side indicates 1 round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are a total of 5 rounds here. For the giggle version, continue crocheting from R6 to R8 by following the chart. For the hey-ha version, continue crocheting from R6 to R10. If you need to adjust the size of the bottom, you can continue increasing stitches following the pattern of increasing 1 stitch every few stitches. The number of stitches increased in each round is 7. Or stop crocheting once you reach a suitable size. The crochet method is relatively simple. All the stitches used have been demonstrated in detail before. Just follow the sequence in the chart, and repeat the corresponding number of times. That's how you complete the bottom. No need to fasten off the yarn. Now let's start crocheting the body of the cup. Let's take a look at the finished product. The body of the cup is made up of color blocks. Each color block consists of 7 rows. Work in rows back and forth. If you increased or decreased the rounds while crocheting the bottom, to prevent the colors of 2 blocks from overlapping, you can also adjust the number of rows in each block, so they are distributed roughly evenly. The crocheting method remains the same. It won't affect the subsequent crocheting. You can watch my demonstration of the method first before you start. For the giggle version, it's 25 ch. That means starting with 25 chains. For the hey-ha version, it's 17 ch. That means starting with 17 chains. Here, I'll use a sample for demonstration. I will only explain the method. The stitch count is smaller. After completing the corresponding foundation chain, dow 2 means to start in the second chain from the hook. Count back from the side with the hook. 1, 2. So, it's right here. Start working single crochets. Pick up the back loop. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Pull through once. That completes one single crochet. Continue with the second single crochet. For the rest, always pick up the back loop. Third stitch. Keep crocheting all the way to the last stitch. There's one last stitch remaining here. This completes the row. After completing, slip stitch in the first single crochet. This is the first stitch. Right here. Pay attention to picking the back loop when slip stitching the strand farther from you. Called the back loop is the top strand. One slip stitch is now completed. Pull tight. That concludes the first row. You can compare the length now. Adjust the height as needed by changing the number of chains. Note, the height mentioned here does not include the face. The distance for the face is about 5 cm. The distances for both versions are the same. When checking the height, add the 5 cm for the face. This gives you the total height of the cup. Now let's work on the second row. Start with one slip stitch here. Insert the hook into the adjacent stitch, which is the second stitch. Note, insert into the back loop here. From now on, always pick up the back loop for slip stitches. This will not be repeated. Pick up the top strand. Yarn over. Pull through. Pull tight. One slip stitch is completed. Start with one chain. This beginning chain is not explained in the chart. In practice, when crocheting, you need to make a beginning chain at the start of each row. Slightly tighten it. Look. This is the last single crochet of the row. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. This is the braid formed by the beginning chain. We start working back and forth from the position of the last single crochet. Make sure not to crochet into the wrong stitch here. Turn the piece. When crocheting on the wrong side, the stitch is located at the top left. Right here. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through. One single crochet is completed. Continue working single crochets into each stitch sequentially. Keep crocheting until the last stitch. The last single crochet is now done. The second row is completed. After crocheting, you can check if the number of single crochets matches the first row. Now let's move on to the third row. Start with a chain as the beginning chain. This is the last stitch of the second row. Begin crocheting single crochets from this stitch. Turn the piece over. Work single crochets into each corresponding stitch. After completing the single crochets, make one slip stitch. Pull tight. The third row is now finished. You can see that we have crocheted 3 rows of single crochets, the position corresponding to the cup body. Also occupies 3 single crochet positions. Now let's work on the fourth row. The technique is the same as the second row. Start by making a slip stitch into the adjacent stitch. After completing it, make a beginning chain. When working backwards, always start with the beginning chain. I won't repeat it after this. Continue crocheting single crochets evenly. The single crochets are done. The fourth row is now completed. You can see our crochet pattern is: for odd numbered rows, crochet single crochets evenly, then make a slip stitch. For even numbered rows, start with a slip stitch, then make a beginning chain, and finally crochet single crochets evenly. The number of single crochet rows corresponds to the number of single crochets used for the bottom cup section. Continue following this pattern until you reach the last stitch of the 6th row. There is one single crochet left. Here you need to switch colors to continue crocheting. Note that the first color block is crocheted for 6 rows first. There is 1 row left to be crocheted at the end. Start with an incomplete single crochet, insert into the corresponding stitch, draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. This is an incomplete single crochet. Take the new yarn, which is the yarn for the second color block. The color scheme here is random. Refer to the chart for specific colors. Hang the yarn with your left hand. Yarn over. And draw through all the loops on your hook once. The single crochet is completed. This also completes the color change. Continue crocheting with the new yarn. Start with one beginning chain. Slightly tighten it. Let's check. The side with ridges is the right side. For a neat appearance, we will press the yarn to the wrong side of the piece. When crocheting, place the tail of the new yarn and the old yarn together above the hook. Work a single crochet. While crocheting, press the yarn to the wrong side. Weave in the yarn tails as you go along. After working a few stitches, you can cut the tails. Continue crocheting single crochets. After completing, check the stitch count. End with one slip stitch. Row 7 is now completed. Proceed with the same method. Continue crocheting until you reach the last single crochet of row 13. There is one last single crochet here. Work an incomplete single crochet as well. Pick up the yarn from the first color block. Hold the new yarn with your left hand. Draw through the loop once. Complete the single crochet. There is one last slip stitch remaining. Place the yarn above the hook. Work a slip stitch. Pull tight. The second color block is now complete. Now let's work on row 14. Start with one slip stitch. Place the two yarn tails between the hook and the new yarn. Complete the slip stitch. Pull tight. Chain 1 to start. Turn the piece over. We will weave in the yarn tails from joining, and the one from the previous color block, together on the wrong side as you crochet. Place the 2 yarn tails above the hook. Yarn over. Make a single crochet. You can slightly tighten these 2 strands. Following the same method. Work the second single crochet. The third stitch. And the fourth stitch. You can see that the yarn tails have been woven in. Cut off. Continue crocheting single crochets. Keep going until you finish this row. Row 14 is now completed. Everyone follow the same crochet method to complete the remaining color blocks. Each color block consists of 7 rows. We will continue crocheting until there is only 1 row left. Note that sometimes you switch colors at the top and sometimes at the bottom. When switching colors, always complete it with an incomplete single crochet on the last stitch. When weaving in the yarn tail, always hide it on the wrong side. There is only 1 row left. Before crocheting, switch colors first. After switching, crochet the last row. Make 1 slip stitch. Turn the piece over. Cut off the yarn. Finish this row. The last row is now completed. Now, let's proceed with the joining. Turn the piece over. The wrong side should be facing out. Insert into the strand at the edge. This is where the first single crochet is located. Pull the yarn through. Make one beginning chain. Next, insert through both pieces, specifically where the first stitches are aligned. Crochet one single crochet. Note that the joining is done on the wrong side. Next, insert through the second stitch of both pieces. Complete the second single crochet. Continue to join all stitches together. Ensure each stitch corresponds one-to-one. Once completed, cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail. Turn the piece over. The body of the cup is now completed. Now let's learn how to make the face. Both versions are made using the same method. They both involve crocheting in rounds around the cup body. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Let's start with our one. Take the corresponding yarn for the face. Here, I will demonstrate with a sample. The color is not for reference. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Insert into the junction where the pieces join. You will see horizontal lines here. This is the junction. Draw the loop through. Be careful not to pull the knot through. Make one chain to start. At the beginning and end of each round, crochet a beginning chain and a slip stitch. Then, make 1 single crochet in the same position. Next, at the junction between the first and the second rows of single crochets, which is right here, make 1 single crochet. Pay attention. As you crochet, place the yarn over the hook and weave in the tail as you go along. Continue by picking up at the junction of the cup body. Third stitch. Fourth stitch. Whatever the number of stitches on the bottom of the cup, we will crochet that many stitches. Let's finish crocheting downward. After finishing, you can check the stitch count. Slip stitch. Pull tight. R1 is now completed. Next, we will crochet R2. For this round, you need to pick up the back loops for crocheting. Pick up the top strand. One single crochet is done. Continue picking up the back loops and work even with single crochets. After completing the last stitch, join with a slip stitch. R2 is now completed. Now let's crochet R3. Here, continue to pick up the stitches and crochet as usual. One single crochet is done. Refer to the chart and keep crocheting all the way to the last round. Slip stitch. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail. The face is now completed. Now let's crochet the lace trim. Both versions of the lace trim are attached at R2 of the face. Crochet by picking up the front loops. We call the strand closer to us the front loop. The stitches are the same, only the number differs. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, place the cup bottom facing up. Join the yarn at the position for the slip stitch. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Draw the yarn through. Make one chain as the beginning chain. Then, work a single crochet in the same position. When crocheting, place the yarn tail above the hook. One single crochet is now complete. Move on to the second stitch. You can see that the yarn tail is hidden inside. Continue crocheting. After hiding a few stitches, cut the yarn. For the rest, work even with single crochets. Complete R1. After finishing the last stitch, you can also check the stitch count. Slip stitch. Pull tight. R1 is now completed. Now let's move on to R2. We can fold the face inwards to make crocheting more convenient. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Which does not count as a stitch. In the diagram, FV indicates DC 2 in 1. 2FV means to work 2 DC 2 in 1. Yarn over. Insert into the first single crochet. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through 2 loops. 1 double crochet is now completed. Work another double crochet in the same position. The DC 2 in 1 is now completed. Next, work another DC 2 in 1. Yarn over. Work 2 double crochets in the adjacent stitch. One. 2. Now both DC 2 and 1 are completed. Later, we use a new stitch, FW, which is DC 3 and 1. Work 3 double crochets in the same stitch. One. 2. 3. The DC 3 and 1 is now completed. Work 2 more DC 2 and 1. One time. 2 times. 1 more DC 3 and 1. After completing, work another DC 2 and 1. One DC 3 and 1. We will consider the stitches we have crocheted, excluding the beginning chain, as one group. For the giggle version, you need to crochet 7 such groups. For the hey-ha version, you need to crochet 8. After completing the 8 groups, refer to the chart to finish the remaining stitches. Upon completion, join with a slip stitch. Note: here, connect to the first double crochet. That is, right here. Insert the hook. Complete the slip stitch. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail. That concludes the explanation of the lace trim.